Okay. Um, I guess it's going.
Okay.
Okay. So, Adam Brunetti, can you, I guess, introduce yourself for people who may not know exactly who you are and what you're doing on Firebringer?
All right. Hey guys, I'm Adam Brunetti. I'm the sound designer. I'm the co-sound designer and sound engineer for Firebringer. I'm also a B on your postcards for those of you who have been confused as to who the hell that is.
You actually signed some with full signatures, though, didn't you?
I did. That was about an hour into the 4 hours of continuous signing of about 2,500 cards.
Okay, so yay that you are AB.
I am AB.
So, can you tell me a little bit about like what this process has been like? You've been doing this for about a month now, right? Like pre-show was about a month long.
Yeah, it was about a month. We had our first read through on May 31st. So that was all of us just in a circle reading through it as I'm going through the script, getting what we might need for sound effects, while Nick would just be saying the sound effects out loud. He makes a very convincing tiger at times. And then, so after that first read through, we had blocked the show in about 2 weeks. Third week was choreography, and the fourth week was just putting the show together and getting the blocking with the songs and the choreography all put into one. And then the fifth week, we loaded in the set and all the equipment to the theater, and we moved the actors on stage.
Awesome. So, what has this been like for you? Is this the biggest thing you've? I know because you have your benefit that you do every year. You
Right.
worked Oregon last year.
I would say, yeah, this is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Mostly because I've turned into much more than just the sound designer for this show.
Explain.
Oh, yes, yes. So, our very first technical director, who we had hired to build the set, he was supposed to show up around noon on that first day of loading in on a Monday, and we were supposed to have the set completely finished by Tuesday morning. Well, he didn't show up until about 6 o'clock that night, worked for about maybe 4 hours, then left. Came back at noon the next day, worked for maybe an hour, then left for like an hour and a half lunch break. Came back, worked for 2 hours, and then left for dinner and worked throughout the night until Wednesday when we all got in, and this set was just. It wasn't a set. It looked like a tornado had gone through the stage and just warped pieces of wood, and things were just built not how they should have been. So all of us turned into the people who built the set. We called about 20 different people trying to find someone to be our emergency technical director. Luckily, our friend Craig, who went to college with the group and I work with at Keo Designs, he was able to come in, save the day. He's actually listed in the program as technical director / hero.
Nice.
He truly was a hero for us. So my job, because of all this, turned into, instead of just doing the sound design, I ended up helping out building the set and painting the set and working with lights, because we ended up having to reschedule lighting focus until we actually had a set to focus on. We had to come up with some creative solutions onto how to work around the mess that our first TD had put us in. So I became a lot more than what I originally thought I would be. But it's been a lot of fun and
But didn't
big
that
learning
happen in New
experience.
York too? Didn't you sign up for one thing and get thrown into like?
Yeah, but even that wasn't as much as I'm doing for this one. The way I'm looking at it, when I went to New York with them, Oregon was already an established show. This
Mm-hmm.
was something that I didn't really have any creative input on. As for this show, I was part of the creative process. I was on the design and production team for this. So my commitment to this show was much higher than what it had to be for Oregon. And even after that, with all the added stuff, I end up having to figure out the live stream equipment, get that going. It's been an interesting past couple of weeks in the theater.
Okay.
But it's been a lot of fun.
Of course. You're 4 shows in now. How has it been going? Like, how's the audience receiving it, and how are you guys all doing?
Yeah, I think we're all doing really well. Having a day off yesterday was good for everyone, except me who didn't have a day off. But audience has been loving it. We've gotten 2 standing ovations at this point. Ticket sales are slowly starting to climb for us. Thursday night, we had one of the weirdest shows we could have possibly had. Every single technical department had something go wrong with it. And we actually had 2 drunk audience members who we had to kick out.
Oh my God.
First for Starkid and a first for Stage 773.
Okay, so can we just do a warning to those who might think that they should go to the show drunk?
Yeah, don't.
It's not a good time for anybody.
Also, just for those who have VIP, be aware that the tour starts 2 hours before doors open. 2 hours before the show, 1 hour before doors open. That's why these people were so horrible during the show. They were mad that they had gotten
Yeah. Wow.
They showed up late to their VIP tour, and instead of telling anyone, they just took it out on the show during the show.
Gross. Well, then they deserve to be kicked out.
Yeah. So that happened. We had Lauren Lopez's mic pack decided it just didn't want to connect to anything right after the opening number, right when she has 2 songs and 2 giant scenes. So that was great.
So did she just project? Like, how did you guys fix that problem?
She just had to project a lot more. The band played a lot softer. And I had to run backstage and leave the soundboard unmanned for a little bit as I worked with production assistant Robert Mannion to solve the problem and kind of come up with a couple different ways to fix it in the event that it happened again, which it did happen again. The backup pack that I put Lauren on still refused to work, so that was fun.
So for how long in the show did she not have a microphone?
I would say about 10 to 15 minutes.
Wow.
Which was very, very stressful for me.
I imagine.
We were able to get it under control. We switched a couple of packs around. We took one of the characters, who Jamie Burns plays, Sean, has very few actual lines. So we could just we took her pack from her, gave it to Lauren, and Sean just projected all of her lines, which was fine because her lines are 1 word long. So, luckily by the end of the first act and during intermission, we were able to sort it all out, and second act went a lot better. We had a couple of lights that just blew on stage, which is wonderful. We have one light that just keeps, boiling a gel to the point where it looks like Jiffy Pop coming out of the gel frame.
Oh, my.
And, every single night it does this. So we're looking into that tonight, because we actually have time to look into it at some point.
Yeah, it seems like you guys have just been, going nonstop since Wednesday.
And especially we had 2 less days with the actors on stage because of the set issue, which then really threw everyone behind. So we've had to just kind of run with it and make up for it as we go. But I think we're in a spot now where the show can run it by itself, and it's in a good spot to be off its feet. We found out that Hayes can turn off the HVAC system and make the theater about 30 degrees hotter.
That's not good.
On 4th of July, overnight, while our scenic designer and our set painters were painting everything, somehow the haze was turned on at some point, which then tripped the HVAC system overnight. So when we all got in on the 4th of July, when, there's no one in the theater to help us, HVAC system was off, and we did a full 10 of 12 tech day in like a 90-degree theater.
Wow.
Because once the haze machine trips the HVAC, we actually have to have the theater reset the entire system.
Well, yeah, but it's probably so that stuff doesn't get into the, like...
It's a fire
right.
Hazard. So basically, if it senses the smoke, it's going to cut off the supply of oxygen.
Right.
It's going to bring any more oxygen into the room. Which is great, except for when it kills us.
So, yeah, how have you guys, like, there's a lot of technical things that are on stage that you might not have actually had a hand in, but you might know. I know Julia from my Twitter wanted to know about the puppets, like how that whole thing was. And then, obviously, I haven't seen the show yet. I know it's online, but how's the fire happening on stage? Like, what's going on with everything?
So, I'm going to start
puppets
all this
and
off
fire.
by saying what has been described as the word of the show. This is the word that everyone looks to for inspiration for the show, and that word is abstract.
Okay.
This show is very abstract. That being said, we took a little bit of creative liberties and just kind of called it abstract. So the fire is just paper mache on wire frames that are put on flashlights.
Okay.
Brand new meaning to the word torch, as Robert Mannion calls the flashlights.
Well, it's a British thing. I guess it's an Australian thing, too.
Yep. So, that was the easiest way for us to do it. You know, we do a little bit with lighting. So that's about it for the fire. It's not that crazy. For the puppets, we have four puppets in the show. Three characters, four puppets. So we have Trunkel, who is a mammoth.
Mm-hmm.
We have Snarl, who is our main antagonist, and giant saber-tooth tiger head and paws. And
well, that's
then
what, like, Pincer was.
Dolphins.
Pincer was a head and paw. Well, I guess he had his tail, too.
No tail. No, it's very abstract.
Mm. I'm sorry, you sound so pretentious. And I know you don't mean to.
Well, hey, we were in tech and we're like, this is very abstract. If they don't get it, well then they just don't understand.
Right, no, and I get that it's totally, like, I can picture everybody talking about this and, like, making fun. But to describe it, like, outside of that context, it just sounds so pretentious. Well, this show's very abstract, so you have to really think. That's where I'm getting it.
Oh, absolutely. And we will not deny that in any way, shape, or form. You need to open your mind to it being very abstract.
Oh, I almost wish that they wouldn't know that we had this conversation, because it would be so funny if when I come in 2 weeks, they ask, you know, because, like, Joey's always like, what do you think? What do you think? And I'll be like, I found it very abstract. Okay, sorry. So, you guys just started doing the late night stuff. How's that all going? Like, how is Jim Povolo's thing? And you did Magic Tavern, which I'm jealous of.
Yep, I did both. So, Jim's thing, I want to say was very abstract again, but I'm not going to.
Sorry.
Him and I teched that show about 4 hours before the show actually happened. And this was just a nice stand-up comedy special where he just kind of told me, yeah, by the way, I'm not wearing pants for this.
So, he was in underwear, or?
Oh, no, he had underwear.
But, like, that's what he didn't, like, have shorts on? He was just...
Nope.
Nice. Good for him.
Just his underwear and his shirt with the dogs on it. So, yeah, he had just the underwear on until the very end, but, you know, I did a blackout, so it was good.
Maybe I'm glad I missed that show.
Yeah, no, really. I was crying in the tech booth because it was so funny.
Well, I remember he did a stand-up night at the last Starkid summer season, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And he was like, he started out, like, you could tell that he was kind of like, I have no idea what I'm doing right now, and I'm a little nervous.
That's how he started out this one.
That's good.
He walks in and goes, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know what this is. I don't have a show planned. Because while I was practicing, a kitten decided to trip its way out of a window, and I caught it. So.
Amazing.
Perfect excuses.
Good for him. But maybe he plays it, like that on purpose, so that everyone can be like, wow, he was so good!
Right. I was so surprised, because when we teched it, we didn't really run any of it. We just kind of set some lights, and his vocal level. That was it. So, I didn't see any of it until we actually ran the show.
Or maybe he really doesn't have any plan.
No.
Maybe it's all genuinely like, wow, this went really well. You can never tell with these people, Adam.
Right. Oh, no.
You never can.
I mean, I'm just standing there with Joey and Clark, and we're just, like, crying from laughing so much. I couldn't believe it.
So are you doing sound design for the other late night things, like the sex play?
I'm doing them for a very good amount of them. Right now I'm going to be there for all the tech days for those, and then from then we're going to decide which ones actually need me and which ones can run themselves.
Right.
I know I'm doing women. I'm doing spies. I'm doing improvised Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Which sounds amazing, and I'm sad I'm missing that too.
It's gonna be interesting. And then I believe I am doing movies, musicals, and me. Possibly At Home at the Zoo and sex. Not entirely sure. Depends on what they need. But I know I'm being there at every single tech day so that I can help them set themselves up through the system. And then figure out if they need someone to run it or not.
So, are you at the theater every single day, though? Because there's not a Firebringer every single day.
Nope. There isn't, but I am there every single day. Because the 2 days we don't have late nights of Firebringer is tomorrow and Tuesday. And those are our tech days for everything.
Wow.
So, I'll be there every day. And then...
So, who gets a day off? Does anybody get a day off?
The cast, Ruby, everyone but me. But I don't mind. It's been a lot of fun. And it's very big learning experience for me, I think. This is very big production, very tech heavy. And getting the technical elements to blend together has been a challenge. From coordinating with the sound of Snarl to the puppeteer inside of Snarl, with the lighting. We have a lot of scenes with thunder and lightning in it. A lot of very abstract ways of depicting fire and thunder and storms. And it's not just me saying abstract, it's in the script, so I don't want to hear it. Which, that's in the script basically just for the people involved in the show. Because we've been hearing it's very abstract for the past month and a half.
Have any fans said it's abstract, though? Has there been feedback about being abstract?
Not yet. I don't think so. We'll find out. We'll see if the Tribune says anything.
Yeah, when are some of the press things coming out? I saw you posted, it looked like a fan review on Facebook.
We had a fan review, was posted. Tribune, I'm not sure when it's being released, but they were there at the Friday night matinee. Friday night matinee,
nice.
Wow.
Good
Friday
job.
matinee. It was a good thing they came then, because the night before was when we had all the tech issues.
Yeah.
Which have conveniently happened right after Holden told our backstage VIP tours, yeah, nothing really weird has happened in this theater yet.
Well, there you go. So it's Brian's fault.
Yeah, we are blaming him. He has been notified that we've that he is to blame. So
Sounds about right.
it's a very, very weird but fun show.
I'm excited to see it. I'm not going to watch it. Like, I know you guys are doing the giggity stuff. And do you want to plug that? I don't know the details of how that works.
Yeah, so every Friday night, every Friday 7:30 performance will be live streamed on Giggity. And Brian will be tweeting out the link on the Starkid account every day. So every Friday, so you'll be able to have that. I believe it's $11 for the live stream ticket, which still isn't bad. And
that's like it's a good deal. I don't want to spoil myself.
Absolutely, it's not a show you really want to get spoiled too much. There are some elements where, and some songs and some characters where you don't want that spoiled for you because it's just absolutely fucking amazing.
Well, I mean the Starkid fans are pretty good about not spoiling stuff. Like I have seen there was like a link to a private Tumblr conversation or something. It was like password protected so that they could discuss the giggity stuff. But like I haven't seen anything other than everybody freaking out on Friday. Like, I was out and I kept looking at my phone, and it was just like all this, like, oh my god, amazing! And I'm like, yeah, I'm not paying attention to this.
Right, yeah. There's a few mentions of Chorn on Twitter. That's all we'll say about it. Chorn's character is very abstract, so...
Uh-huh. Okay, so you can watch it on Giggity, and then I keep seeing all sorts of ticket, like, codes and stuff, and I did see them I saw Firebringer on the Today Tix list, but that they weren't available yet. So
we will have Firebringer available on Hot Tix and Today Tix for select shows, which that will basically be decided, like, the day before, the day of, depending on ticket sales.
Mm-hmm.
But it will be available for some of the shows on Today Tix and Hot Tix. Don't know the discount on it, but definitely
if you use my code, you can save $10.
Right. If you are in the Chicago area or have the means to get here, I really would recommend seeing the show. It's unlike any show we've done before.
Well, that's something I want to ask you, because you've seen all their stuff. Like, you were a fan before you started working with them. How does this compare? Like,
so what's different about this show, besides the fact that it's all female driven, we've have some pieces in it that we've had fans asking to be added into a show for a very long time now. A lot of things mentioned in the show that, we take it to be as part of the prehistoric, world that we're living in this show, but they still apply to life today. The music in this show, Mark Swiderski and Meredith Stepien did an absolutely incredible job with the music for this show. It's very percussion heavy, very, rhythmic, because when you think of cavemen, you're thinking of just kind of tribal drums, things like that. We have a lot of that in this show. We have two different kinds of bongos. We have tribal, like, war drums, sort of. We have the marimba. There's a lot of elements of the show that I think will come as a surprise to the fans, but a lot of it's while still keeping the Starkid, sense of humor and the moments of you're like, what the fuck is happening? Oh yeah, it's a Starkid show. That explains it all. But I really do think this show, tech-wise, this is the most cue-heavy show we have. I have about 60 sound cues for this show, from just like ambient sounds to thunder, lightning, animal noises, fire, different ways of making you realize that the period you're in or the mood of the scene. I think there's about just under 200 lighting cues for this show. And it's also the first Starkid show to be 2 hours or less.
Wow.
Which we didn't really realize that we made it. We were able to do that until we ran it the first time. We also it's also turned into a little cartoony, which is fun, from sound effects supplied by Nick Gage or even John Jackson on the marimba. And we've also continued the Starkid tradition of including the band in the show, though.
Well, that's always exciting.
And the way we've done it for this one is very different, and when you see it, you'll realize that they wrote the scenes that they wrote the band into. They wrote it the way they did just for them,
right?
And to fulfill some of their fantasies, I guess. Good way to put it.
Well,
I guess we'll see.
All I'll say is I keep telling Clark that eventually we're going to need to find a new music director because he's just going to be on stage he's just going to be a main character.
Nice. Well, more Clark on stage is always good for me. I saw him in a play during Fringe last year, and I was so excited because, he doesn't act. So,
right.
And he was good in his role. Like, it was a small part. It was an odd show, but it was awesome. So I'm looking forward to him being on stage.
He is really, really good, and I remember after after opening night or before the second show, he had come up to Nick Lang and said, "Do you have any acting notes for me?" And Nick goes, "Don't change a thing. You are perfection."
I feel like I hear your Nick Lang voice coming out a little bit. But if you guys don't know, Adam does a really great Nick Lang impression, but I'm not going to make you do it.
Okay, good. Just in case he
but
listens.
if you see Adam at stage 773, ask him to do it in the lobby. maybe he'll entertain you, maybe not. You never know.
It'll depend on if Nick is at that show. Him and I have had some fun. We had a day where it was just him and I in the theater, and we spent about an hour and a half just talking about an idea him and Matt have for a Boba Fett trilogy of movies.
Starring Joe Moses? Or
I don't know. I have no clue, but Nick does a very good Boba Fett voice.
I'm sure he does.
Wow.
See, that's something that you can never accuse Nick Lang of not doing well, is impressions. You can't be like, wow, Nick Lang doesn't do impressions, because he sounds awesome all the time.
That's another different thing for the show. With the band, there's a good segue from Nick Lang to the band.
I believe you.
Band is in the balcony for this show instead of on stage. Mainly because of the marimba.
Nice.
Because the marimba is about 6 feet long.
Wow.
And there's no way we'd have fit everyone on stage with the puppets, and it's a bit... Wing space is practically non-existent. So, the reason, there was a good segue for that, is we were talking about would we be able to see the band if they were in the balcony, and how we want to add some harmonies for Pierce and Clark for some of the songs, and Nick goes, "Yeah, let's just have the band sing the songs. We all know how much the fans love that."
Wow. Ouch. You know what? I loved it
I
a
did
lot.
too. I did very much so. And I constantly remind him of that. But...
Yeah, who cares what the fans think? We all like it.
We can just say that the band singing the songs was abstract.
You're right. It was. You had to really understand that it was... I always say that it was like a play with a soundtrack. It wasn't necessarily a musical, but I thought it was awesome.
That was the point. It was like an 80s training musical for Annie instead of Rocky.
I thought it was fantastic. I love it a lot. And I'm excited about this. So, okay, you were saying that it's a big first for a lot of them. So, in your opinion, and you have to take out the fact that you're working on this as your bias, where does it rank? 1 through 10, 1 being the best, 10 being the worst, where would you rank it in Starkid shows?
Huh. Shit, it's hard to do that without bias, but at the same time, I think it has the potential to be in, like, the top 3.
Wow.
If not at the very top.
Huh.
We have 3 new cast members in this. Tiffany Williams, Jamie Burns, and Lauren Walker, which makes calling the actors on stage very hard sometimes. Because if I say, there are scenes where it's just Lauren and Lauren. So if I go, Lauren, your mic is off, I get them both, like, going to check their
Which is
their
why
back.
you've taken to calling her Lopez, I guess.
Yep. So we have Lopez, Joe, and Walker. It's a good thing Moses wasn't in this, because it would just, we already have Joe and Joey.
Yeah.
And then Lauren, and Joe Walker and Lauren Walker.
and Jamie and Jamie.
And Jamie and Jamie. It's a good thing that they spell their names differently, like Jaime and Jamie. And
nice.
Yeah, on my board is just Jamie Lynn and Jamie B, and then Lauren L and Lauren W. But it's Lauren Walker has brought so much life to Moloch, her character, who is like our narrator for this show. We actually added more monologues in for Moloch because of how funny she is.
Amazing. That's great.
And I wish there was more Moloch in this show.
And you've already increased her, so there you go.
Yeah. Oh my god. We didn't realize just how funny Lauren is. And then she came in, and she is like one of the fan favorites. Every time she appears, we get the fans clapping.
That's awesome. And I could tell that she was going to be something special during that live stream that they did, like the end of the Kickstarter.
The Sets Probe, yeah.
Because she just seemed really chill on that. And I was like, you know what? I bet I'm going to like her. So I'm excited that that's apparently how it's going.
Oh yeah. You know, and she's not in a lot of the songs. Because she's like the narrator of the story. So she breaks the fourth wall a lot.
It's my favorite
thing. And we'll actually go like, and that's where I come in, and then walk into the scene.
Amazing.
She's very good at ad-libbing some stuff in. She's added some things into her monologues that aren't in the script that we are so happy that she added these in. I am in the tech with laughing every performance when she comes on stage because she makes every performance just a little different.
And now you're going to make me want to try to see it more than once, just by saying that.
She is remarkable.
Very cool.
Molag is just such a great character. She's Molag the War Master, the previous leader of the tribe.
Okay.
So, just go into the show realizing that this is before they've even, like, discovered hunting. So when we open, we're just gathering nuts and berries to survive.
Awesome.
There's no fire, there's no hunting.
Right, well, because they don't, that's where Zazzle comes in.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, this show is a show of invention. It's a lot of things that we take for granted, that it's shown that they're just discovering this for the first time.
And it's very abstract.
It's very abstract, and Molag will not let the audience forget that we take these things for granted.
Awesome. All right, so
because
Adam,
we are, in her words, privileged fucks.
Uh-oh.
Yes. This show,
yeah,
the way Nick said was, all of the fucks that were cut out of the previous 9 shows have just been thrown into this one.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. And Lauren Walker just kind of throws some more in at times in her monologues, and it's amazing.
I'm really excited about it, and I'm really happy for you. So where can my audience find you on the social media world?
So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Brunetti1. That's about it for me, like on social media, besides Facebook. I've been posting a lot of pictures and like a couple behind the scenes stuff from Firebringer on both Instagram and Twitter, so feel free to check those out. My follower count has grown like by 60 or 100.
And it's only the first week, man.
It's only the first week. This is weird.
Okay.
My Twitter analysis is saying like I'm getting like 6,000 impressions every 24 hours, which I only got that like every week.
Nice.
So
I mean, that's
what?
exciting. So
Yeah.
keep it up. That's very cool.
I'm at 1 autograph signed, so 3 more and I'll break the record from Trail to Oregon.
Awesome. And you've already got your interview down. You were interviewed at Oregon too,
Yes.
right? So there you go.
See? And actually, I'm at 2,501 autographs if I count all the people.
You're so right. Although that's not true because you didn't get to all of them.
True. Shit. Okay. So we're gonna say like 2,000.
Yeah, have a margin of error.
451. I don't know. I think I missed a stack, but
Perfect. Well, you have a call time soon, so
I need to go fix some lights and some of the sound with our stage manager. So
right.
I'm gonna
have a great show tonight. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
Thank you.
And
I will see you very soon.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna have a good time.
We are.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good one. See you guys. Bye.